Hey guys, I just want to welcome you to Prepare to Go There. It's Future Friday for me, October 2023. But I just want to kind of bring you into a little bit of my world and workspace. And I'm not doing anything, specific per se. I just want to have a conversation with you. So hang tight with me just a little bit. But my challenge to you is to prepare next year now. If you've been a part of any of the conversation that I've been having with business creators, with pastors, church leaders, parents, if you administrate high school, if you run a marketing agency, if you have to travel a lot for sports or speaking, whatever it is, we have no time to waste. Literally, I think just with the sense of increasing crisis that's going on around us, we have to take advantage of every day we can. Now, that doesn't mean we have no time left. Thankfully, that means, we can redeem time. We can reclaim time. We can make the most of the time we have. And that really is the motivation behind Prepare to Go There, which is embracing a lifestyle of preparation and not getting discouraged, distracted, disqualified with the lies that produce procrastination. And so, I've been having this conversation already. You can check out the podcast, talking a lot about self-leadership and then moving into team leadership, highlighting the need for pioneering leadership, which is so mission critical for the time we're in right now. Because honestly, business management, visionary leadership, they're not sticking to the wall like they used to. We're throwing the spaghetti on the wall saying, let's just keep doing what we've been doing. And we're wondering what's happening. Well, there's been a change, right? There's a change in the guard. There's a shift in the times. And that's an opportunity for us to see it and then seize it with hopeful confidence, with a humble, hardworking approach that is not going to let opportunities slide by or opposition overtake our peace. We're going to hold our ground and we're going to work diligently and collaboratively to expand that ground. And so what I wanted just to say here is you need to be thinking about next year now. All right. You need to be having that conversation. If you're a person of faith, like I'm a Christian, so I'm praying all the time. I'm asking God, Lord, give me wisdom. I just need wisdom right now so I can take care of my health, my focus, my well-being. And then when I am leading myself well, then I can serve others. I can take care of my wife. I can serve my community and keep growing this awesome leadership community through the pioneer coaching that I get to do. So you need to be thinking about next year now. You need to have that conversation. And what I really felt was being highlighted to me in prayer was that there's an opportunity. You don't have to wait until January to start the new year. And so many people, they procrastinate, or they're just double-minded, or they're just not aware that you basically have I think it's 9 Mondays left at the time of this recording. And if you're listening to this later, it's probably past. But you don't have to wait till the new year. In fact, there's a verse that says that we should be ready to preach at all times, right? We should be ready to stand with the truth and speak that truth boldly. And then it gives this phrase, be ready in season and out of season. So the kind of the lesson there is you're preparing when it's out of season, so that way you're ready when it's in season. And how else do we do that except through a hopeful lifestyle of preparation? Not a fearful thing, but a sober-minded willingness to roll up our sleeves and get to work, so that way others will be served and others won't have to suffer because of our negligence. So if people are evil and drunk at the wheel, then sadly, there will be collateral damage with that. But when good people step up and do their part, then actually others don't have to suffer, or at least as much, but other people will be served, other people will be empowered. And so, honestly, this whole conversation is really to leaders, the aspiring leaders, the emerging leaders, and the pioneering leaders. And I just have a lot of empathy for y'all. I hope it shows in the podcasting that I do. I've been showing up in different ways with audio-only podcasts and YouTube and my coaching and the courses and all that. But the point is, you need to be working on the next year now. And the mindset shift that many of you need to have is that you could actually pick up 2 more months in 2024. Now, I'm not saying you just tap out emotionally from what you need to be doing, but in my mind, 2024 started. It's already happening. The winners of the future, as I've said, or the winners of 2024 are not going to be the most productive. They're going to be the most prepared. And so we've got to be preparing now, because you don't realize when 2024 happens, that's not the starting block. That's the time's up. So for example, my wife and I, we were watching a cooking channel show with, I think his name is Bobby Flay. Maybe you try to beat Bobby Flay. And so, they've got the timer and they're rushing around and they're cooking all this stuff. And then the timer goes to 0 and they say, hands off. Now it's time to serve whatever you've been preparing. And 2024, when the, midnight strikes and we're in the new year, January 1, that's not the time to start preparing. That's the time anything you did prepare now shifts into go mode. That's when you have to serve up whatever you've been preparing. And that's so important because, there's this principle. Jesus taught us, whatever you whisper in private will eventually be broadcasted, yelled, shouted, so to speak, from the rooftops. So there's many times we're wondering, man, I don't know if, the stuff I'm doing is working. I don't know if I'm doing the right stuff. And you need to quit all of those mind games, and you need to just get focused on how you're preparing today and make today count. Now, you may not be able to do that every day, but maybe you could do it 1 day a week. Maybe you could do a Future Friday like I do. And every Future Friday is dedicated to the future. I'm not trying to work on anything that's going to help me in the immediate. I'm thinking, I'm learning, I'm growing, I'm praying, I'm having these kind of conversations like this right now. And I'm investing in friends that I hope, or friendships that I hope to continue into the future. So I'm not really thinking about myself and where I'm at. I'm thinking about others in the future and all that. But I honestly kind of feel like I have that 2024 is like a 14-month year for me right now, because in my mind, I've already started 2024. Now, I know I just said you start at January, but hopefully you know what I mean. So let me give you some calls to action if you're interested in this. Number one is I do executive coaching, and I have the frameworks that I've been taking church leaders and business creators through, and it's all about next year now, getting ready for next year now. And believe it or not, this is a really daunting conversation for a lot of people. And so I've actually simplified it to 15 minutes. You got to catch this, 15 minutes of preparation today is far more weighty and possibly way more valuable than like 9 hours, 10 hours, 20 hours of, head down work, hustle in 6 months from now. Now think about that. 15 minutes now is more effective and, going to have better consequences than even working harder, investing more money later. Why? Because of compound interest, because of the principle of compound interest. And so what we're leveraging here is time. You really can redeem time, but we got to learn how to think that way. And so many people are making a trade, time for money or time for stuff. And we have to be willing to have a future focused approach that is hopeful yet hands-on. We're not just dreaming kind of abstract and we're not doing anything. Fear can be positive if it motivates us to hopeful action, and dreams can be negative if we do nothing with them. So it really is all about taking action. And 15 minutes of action today is far more, important and helpful than waiting around and then trying to catch up later. So I think the easiest way to access that is just click the link below, and it'll take you to my coaching work, and then you can look for Next Year Now. Anything that says Next Year Now, go ahead and get on it. I don't know when you're going to see this video, but right now I'm more than happy to share this with anybody who's ready to put in that future work. And then in addition, I wanted to share my map for 2024, just things I'm talking about with friends and with my team and how we're thinking about it. So basically, I'm here for future focused people, and I'm here to serve a network of leaders, leadership community. My motivation is really my faith journey as a believer, and then also all of the leadership experiences that I've had. And I won't take time to talk about it, but let's just say 15 years in, and I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still excited about encouraging others. Kind of the tagline I'm personally running with my coaching is going further, faster in life and leadership. And my motivation is to encourage and coach others to go further and faster in life and leadership than me. And I think that's the heart of leadership. It's not that I'm so cool or altruistic. It's just, I think that's what leadership really comes down to. Leadership is the motive to help others go further and faster in life and in leadership than them. And that's how we can, see people achieve their aspirations, see them escape all of their vices and pain points, see them grow, not suddenly, but intentionally, exponentially on a path of empowerment. And that's how, even organizations and churches and movements and businesses can get unstuck as well. So I really believe this is a kind of a people empowerment movement when they kind of take on the principles and the best practices of pioneering leadership. And, full disclosure, I'm inspired by Jesus. I think he's the ultimate pioneering leader. So a lot of my context comes from that. But at the same time, it's a conversation that we can all have. It doesn't matter what your faith background is. I hope you fall in love with Jesus the way I have. But at the end of the day, the work I do is just to glorify God by empowering people, and specifically leaders. So I hope that makes sense. I have no script. I'm just kind of riffing right now, and I'm not trying to get pulled in too deeply into any one thing. I'm just trying to give you an overview of why it's so important to think on and work on next year right now. Having said that, here for future focused leaders, I've kind of put a pretty wig, what is it? Wild goal. Is that the big, hairy, scary goal? Something like that. There's all these phrases, but I have a big goal, and I just threw out there 5,000. Just, no really rhyme or reason. Just, it seemed really big to me. So I'm like, yeah, I think I'd like to encourage and coach 5,000 people, men, women, Gen Z, millennials, boomers, whoever they are. I'd love to encourage a bunch of leaders and help them with two things: navigate and create. So navigate their leadership journey, and then potentially, if they want to go further, create a leadership community. Now, I don't think all 5,000 will get to create a leadership community, but that's okay. I just want to, 5,000 people, if I'm able to interact with them at some level, whether that's through the podcast here on YouTube or elsewhere, or maybe it's through, some of the on-demand content that I create, or some of the coaching groups that I'm hosting called cohorts, or maybe some of the executive coaching. I'm going to be offering team training for businesses and churches as an example. And I'd love to just kind of plug into your leadership community and bring some of the best, most reliable leadership preparedness content for y'all. So that's kind of all in the works. So please, take 10 seconds, say a prayer for me. That'd be great. But yeah, really just helping future focused people show up ready and get them prepared, get them equipped to navigate and create the future of what they do. And then out of that, there's kind of a trident effect that I'm using, kind of 3 things I'm really focused on. Technically 5 if you want to know, but just for the sake of this conversation. First is the podcast, Prepare to Go There, is going to continue. I'm really excited about it. The theme is leadership preparedness. So it's going to all come through the filter of my own worldview, my faith journey, and my, Christ formation there. Then on top of that, you're going to see a lot of leadership content mixed in with some new preparedness content. And I kind of merge that together to leadership preparedness, which the biggest thing you need to be prepping are more leaders. And I know you got your EDC. I know you're thinking about bugging in, bugging out, whatever you want to do. But at the end of the day, we need to be preparing leaders. That's what it comes down to. We need to be preparing our skills, preparing our relationships to go deeper, preparing our communities. We need to be ready to really tap into that disruptive collaboration that's going to be so necessary in a time of agility, so to speak. So leadership preparedness is really the theme that I'm going to just keep coming back to for the podcast. And then you'll just be hearing Peter talk through, whatever accent that I've got, whether that's, just my worldview or whatever. Then the second thing would be, I'm really excited about courses. I've got 2 courses that I'm going to be launching in 2024. They might not both happen in January, but they're definitely happening this year. The first one is for individuals who care about their leadership journey, and this is really focused on that navigate piece, helping you navigate your leadership journey, and it's called Pioneer of the Year. I've done this multiple years, but I just feel like fired up. I feel like it's brand new. I'm going to be redoing all of the coursework, taking the best stuff and just bringing it right into this new year. So it's actually a course that you get access to for 12 months, and you'll get the core content immediately, and then you'll get content drops, throughout the year. So the one of the things I've gotten is, course completion. It's really a big deal to me that we actually stay on the journey. And so I'm not going to overload you with all that content. We're actually going to process that content throughout the year. So that's some of the reason why I'm restructuring it. But there's life planning frameworks, leadership tools, leadership training. There's going to be master classes, just a bunch that I've already done, which will get repurposed into this new course, and then just ways I want to make it better. So I'm really excited about it. Front burner, helping a bunch of leaders on the individual level. It's going to help you do 2 things: reclaim your time and expand territory. And I can't get into it, but I'll do it later, I promise. If you want to reclaim your time and if you want to expand your territory, this will be for you. The other course is called Pioneer Movements, and I've been doing this on the ground level for years, but I just haven't really shown it on this platform. But I am really excited about helping pastors and church leaders and really just disciple makers in general be thinking about their ministry work. And so I'm super excited about this because the tagline for Pioneer Movements is finding and funding the future of church. Now, obviously, I want it to be Christ-centered, and that's one of the core values of the that whole coaching journey. But I thought the conversation is people that are really engaged in creating communities and networks and movements, that are for the purpose of the church. So that's what that's for. And there's so many new expressions I'm so excited about. So there's a lot to not only learn, but a lot to step into. Finding and Funding the Future of Church. That's what that content's going to be about. Both of these courses will have two kind of benefits available. The first one is both courses will have early enrollment. And then the second thing is both courses will have some sort of cohort experience. So right now I'm thinking about launching group coaching as a supplement to the courses. So we'll actually go through the course together, and it'll be additional group coaching that you can opt into while spaces are available. So please jump into that sooner than later. And really that's the theme of this whole thing is, right, don't procrastinate. Preparation better than procrastination. And don't just settle for doing things when it's due. Try to really think ahead of time. And then the last thing I was going to mention is executive coaching. I do offer executive coaching, but because of the way I invest so deeply into these teams and these organizations, I only have just a handful of spaces available. So if you're really interested in that, then reach out. That's fine. And I can do basically monthly executive coaching, and then I can also offer team trainings, so that way I can work not only with you on the executive level or with your executive team, but I can work with your leadership community context as well, whatever that is. So love to just have a conversation. Whoever this is getting out to, just know that I'm here for you. Here to pioneer with you. You're gonna have a great year, and I think a big part of that is you have to have hope. Hope. The future is an act of hope. And so, think about your motivation. What's your motivation? Are you motivated by fear? Are you motivated by hope? Makes a big difference what kind of year you have. So stay encouraged, stay engaged, and thanks for checking out this situation report about next year now.